Honey. It's basically bee spit, but it's really useful in Minecraft. You can do redstone with it, you can regenerate your hearts with it, you can build with it, you can reduce fall damage with it, or you can be really weird and just slide down it. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever it is you want to do with it, you do need to farm it. I've got 3 farm options for you. Small, medium and industrial, depending upon your needs. And I'm going to show you how to make them all. Timestamps are in the description for the one you want. Let's crack on. Now, the thing you need to know about bee farms is that bees don't work at night or in the rain. Lazy bees. So your farms can't run 24/7. Or can they? You probably already worked out by that. Yes, they can. You just have to warp beyond the boundaries of your own dimension into a world ravaged by a tyrannical overlord where no one ever sleeps because there is no night. Simple. Bee farms are best built in the end, and they're a pretty easy build. You just have to do some prep first. Get some diamonds, make a pick, get some obsidian, raid a fortress for blaze rods, go to a warped forest to sacrifice endermen to a higher honey-related cause, get tooled up and armoured up, get some potions maybe, make Eyes of Ender, find a stronghold, go to the end and kill the tyrannical overlord dragon lady. And then you can build a lovely farm or 2. Easy, right? So I promised you 3 farms and I'm going to assume you've done all of that prep already. I'll start with farm 1 and take it from there. We're going to go block by block, so pick your farm or ideally watch the whole video. That would be lovely. Small farm first. This is what you're going to need for the small farm. That hopper and chest in the right hand corner are optional and I'll show you why in a moment. Let's go. And this is our template, a 7x6 rectangle with a little notch out the bottom. The red area we're going to build up 1 block. The yellow area we're going to keep as it is. The orange area is going to go down 1 block. The green area is going to go down 2 blocks and the blue down 3 blocks. So you should have something that looks like that. Take your chest and place 1 in the bottom there and 1 in the bottom there. That should turn into a double chest. Grab your hopper, come around inside and shift click into that chest. Then jump back out again and grab your steps and place them on top of the top chest like that. And then place the spare block that you've dug out from any area here on top of that. Then come back inside and you're going to grab your signs and you're going to place 1 sign there, 1 sign there, 1 sign there, and 1 sign there. Take your glass and place 4 glass across the front. Now it doesn't have to be glass, but I like to be able to see in. And then come on the top, place a glass block there, a glass block there. Leave a gap, glass block there, and then come all the way around until you get opposite the gap on the other side. So kind of here, and then leave a gap right there, and then place glass around the other side. Like that. Jump into your gap and get your dispenser and place your dispenser facing in towards your farm. You're then going to come out, you're going to get a bucket of water and you're going to place your first bucket of water there. You're going to place your second bucket of water, not the next block, but the next block after that, right there. That means you can take a bucket from that and it will be an infinite water source. Place your bucket there and then come along, take 1 more bucket out the center because you want to place 1 more bucket in the corner over here. So now your farm should look like that. And when you're in the end, it's always a good idea to refill your water buckets. You never know when you need to scare an enderman off. Place down your 4 flowering azalea leaves. It needs to be flowering and pop them right there on that ledge that you've created. And then we're going to get some more glass and we're going to build up another level all the way around, including on top of the dispenser, but not in this gap that you created earlier. Get your observer and you're going to place it facing downwards above your dispenser here. So put it against the glass and you should see the little redstone bum facing upwards. Then place redstone on top of its bum and redstone on the glass above that dispenser. We're then going to fill in all of the lid of this farm now with glass. And I prefer glass again because you can see into it. So your farm now looks like this. And we are very nearly done. Come around to the back of your dispenser and place all 9 shears. Now you don't have to put 9 in, of course. You could just put 1 in, but if you stick 9 in, it lasts for a little while. If you're looking for honey bottles rather than honeycomb, fill the dispenser up with glass bottles instead. Then come right up against your hole that you've made here. Push hard and place your beehive against the face of the observer. You won't quite be able to reach that dispenser. Place it against the observer. You should hear an audible click and then place glass in that gap. You should have 3 bits of glass left. They're spares for when you mess up. Eventually, the bees will start to pop out and go over to those azalea flowers and get a peppery bum and go back inside the hive. And this is the optional bit that I mentioned earlier. Come around the back and place a hopper using shift click into the back of that dispenser. Then get a chest, stick it over the top of the hopper and fill that up with shears or whatever it is, maybe bottles you want to put in here instead. It's up to you. This will refill that dispenser once the dispenser uses up the shears that are inside it. And that farm will now chug away very happily and bring you honeycomb or honey bottles depending on what it is you put in it. That's the small one, but maybe you want a little bit more honey than that, or you want it faster. Then you need to make a slightly larger one. And this is the inventory that you're going to need for the medium-sized bee farm. Again, those 6 hoppers and those 6 chests on the right hand side, they are optional, but I do recommend them with this one. This is an 11 by 10 rectangle, again with a little notch coming out the bottom. As before, red is going to be built up 1 block, yellow is going to stay where it is, orange is going to go down 1 block, green down 2 and blue down 3. So it will look like that. Now you could make this slightly narrower so it wasn't 10 across. You could make it so it was only 8 across, but then you get fewer azalea leaves in there, which means that the bees can't all get to them at the same time and it will slow your farm down a little bit. It's up to you really. Before you do anything else, place in your chest, 1 there and 1 there, come around, place in your hopper, shift click into the chest and then jump up and place in your birch steps on the first stair like that. Come inside, place an end stone on that, grab your signs and place 1 sign on each of these. Come to your step and place a water bucket right in the corner, then get your second water bucket, leave a gap and place another one, and then between the 2 pick it up, come across 2, place it down, pick it up, place it down until you get water source all the way across, which gives you an even flow right up to the signs. Fill up both your water buckets at this point. You're going to need to place one of them down in the corner right here. We can then place our 8 flowering azalea leaves across the back. Come to approximately the center of the front and jump up onto 1 temporary block. These are blocks that you would have dug out earlier on. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then grab your dispensers and count 1, 2 blocks from the flowering azalea, and on the 3rd one, place a dispenser, leave a gap, dispenser, gap, dispenser. Then do the same on this side as well. So leave 2 blocks, dispenser, gap, dispenser, gap, dispenser. You then collect up your temporary blocks. You don't need those anymore. We can then build up our glass border. Place your glass right across this front gap now, and then do an entire row, including between the dispensers all the way around. And once you've gone all the way around once, go all the way around 1 more time. Shift click as you go over those dispensers so you can place the glass on top. So you should have something that looks like this so far. And now what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the top except above those dispensers. So I'm going to do the entirety of that row, the entirety of the row between those dispensers and that block, but I'm going to leave this block open, and I'm going to do that so I've got that 1 block open in front of all of the dispensers. So for example, that one and also that one, and I'm going to fill the entire rest of the roof in. And then what you're going to do in all but one of them, you're going to place some end stone. This is temporary, but we need to bung these holes up because those bees, they love to escape. And then what you need to do is you need to grab your hive and press shift click, placing the hive on top of that dispenser like that, and then immediately place an observer on top of the hive. You can then place redstone there and there, and you're going to repeat that by chucking out each one of these quickly, place a hive, place an observer, place your redstone, and do that on all 6. You can then come around to the back of your dispensers and place however many shears or bottles you would like in each of them. And then you can just leave your bees to work away producing your honey and your honeycomb. And obviously you don't have to put 6 hives in here if you don't want to. You could just put 4 or 2 or whatever, just as many hives as you can gather in the overworld. Remember, you need to gather them with the bees in, which means you need silk touch and a campfire. Loads of tutorials on how to do that on YouTube, and if you want me to do one, just let me know. Now let's make our big one, and this is the inventory you require for the industrial sized bee farm. Obviously you can change around some design choices, but that's what I'm using. And the footprint for the way I'm building it is 32 blocks by 10 blocks with a little 3 by 2 rectangle up in the top corner. Each of these different squares represents a different section. Orange is 1 by 8, purple is 8 by 8, and pink, green and light blue are all 7 by 8. And as before, the red rectangle needs to be raised up 1 block from the sections. Each successive level needs to be 1 block lower than the last, and you need to extend out what was the orange level by another 2 blocks into the blue level. Now I am going to do this one in creative just for the sake of the tutorial, but I'll build it as if I'm in survival. Get 1 block of soul sand and place it right at the very end there, then take off the block next to it and place in some compressed ice. Now I apologise, I didn't put this in the inventory because you can use a sign up against this wall if you like, but I like to use a gate, put it on the ice and open it up like that. You are then going to build a tower of 7 ice, not compressed ice, not blue ice, normal ice. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Replace the end stone above the gate and then create a tower of glass all the way around the ice. So 8 pieces of glass per tower, right up to the level that the ice is, except for 1 glass coming out towards the side of the farm. Level with the base of this piece of glass, place a chest and then come down on top of the chest and turn it into a double chest. Get back up again and go into this little hole. Get yourself your hopper and shift click it into that chest. We now need to surround this with some glass. So we're going to put a piece of glass there, there, there and there. And we're going to build this up so we've got an enclosed space over the top of that chest like that. We are then going to use a pickaxe and we're going to dig all the way down on this glass. You need to fight the water a little bit, but that's fine. And once you get into that little hole, it's a little bit tricky at first. Pickaxe all the way down. Make sure you don't hit the glass around the sides, otherwise that could end your trip really quick. And what'll happen is you'll get to the bottom and that soul sand will shove you straight back up to the top, which means you can finish building. And to finish off, all you need to do is to put a layer of glass over the top like that. You can then jump down and you are going to place a chest underneath that one, underneath that one, underneath that one, and underneath that one, and you're going to shift click a hopper into each one. That is our collection system completed. Come inside your farm and place 8 signs along the front. And now we're going to put the dispensers in. You're going to come to this gully here, you're going to miss a gap, you can put in a dispenser, miss a gap, dispenser, miss a gap, dispenser, miss 2, dispenser, 1, dispenser, 1, dispenser, miss 2, dispenser, 1, dispenser, 1, dispenser, miss 2, dispenser, 1, dispenser, 1, dispenser, just like that. And then you're going to copy that on the other side. Create yourself a little infinite water source with your 2 water buckets and refill them, and then come up to this gully and place a water bucket right there so it runs all the way to the end. It shouldn't go onto the ice. Now we're going to come inside because we're not going to place any more water just yet, and we're going to run a 2-high wall of glass all the way around the building, and we're going to make sure that that's 2 high, including 1 on top of each of the dispensers. When you come to the wall coming up 1 jot, which should be 1 before a dispenser, that is where you put the extra glass. And while you're going around, fill up your dispensers with either shears or glass bottles. And you want to leave yourself a 1x2 gap at the end. It doesn't matter exactly where, as long as there is one. Now, I quite like to put a door in here. Again, that's not in the inventory because you don't need it, but a door here actually makes things a little bit easier. Once you've got all of your dispensers in, you're going to come above each one. On the glass block above it, you're going to place an observer with a little redstone bum facing upwards. You're going to do that on each and every one. And when you have, you're going to get your redstone and you're going to place a redstone there and a redstone on the block above that dispenser as well. And then you're going to come around and make these walls 4 high by adding 2 more blocks all the way around. Now, when you get to the redstone, obviously it's not going to let you add a block where the redstone is. Just place a block on top. If you place 2 glass blocks above every block and 1 on every redstone block, you shouldn't go wrong. The entire wall should be the right height. Now, those pesky bees will be able to get out of those holes where the redstone line is, so we need to cover them up. Jump yourself down and get yourself an upside down stair. I like mud brick stairs for this. And run a row right across where that redstone line is, all the way over, making sure you cover all 3 of the redstone holes on each level. When you get to this step up, go up 1 level and make sure you cover up the redstone line on that level as well. And once you've done it on one side, do it on the other as well. Block back up to the top of your farm, and we're going to put some slabs and some stairs on here to create a roof. That will stop the bees from flying straight out the top. So we're going to use slabs all the way up to the end of this glass row, except for the last glass. Then we're going to get a stair, and we're going to place a stair there. Then we're going to get our slabs, and we're going to slab across all the way again to the last one, put in a stair, come up again, slab, and so on and so forth. And then we're going to run that across the width of the farm. And once you have finished that roof, you should have a completely enclosed farm that looks a little bit like this. Get yourself back down to where you blocked up and dig back down, because you're going inside now. And that's why the door's handy. Well, this and another reason I'll show you in a minute. Come inside your farm. And what we're going to do is we're going to place all of our azalea bushes in very strategic places. Wherever there is a dispenser, you are going to put an azalea bush on either side. Once the dispensers go upwards, then the level of the azalea bushes also goes upwards. We're then also going to put a complete row of azalea bushes across the back on the second one up. And that means there is always a 2 high gap above those azalea bushes all the way down to the bottom of the farm. We've also put it across the front of the farm, except for where the door is. So we're almost done. All that's left is the bees themselves, plus the water to push all of those resources down to our collection system. So what you are going to do is you are going to place a hive directly onto each of these dispensers, and you're going to do it using a shift click, otherwise you'll click into the dispenser. Click on all of them and do both sides as you go down the farm. And as you get to the end, you'll notice that the bees are already coming out and doing what they do best, which is grab that pollen to make that honey. Once you've got all of them set out, come to the very end of your farm. Grab yourself one of your water buckets and place it in the corner. Then grab the second water bucket and place it not the same, but one along. And then place the next one along. Then grab some water, one along, grab some water, one along, grab some water, one along. Your farm is now complete. That water will wash all the way down to the end, but not over the end. And now what you've got to try and do is get yourself out of that door. And just by jumping, you should be able to get out of it. Flick yourself out, close the door quick before some of those pesky bees try and get out. You see that one try to get out already? Sneaky. And your bee farm is now fully functional. Now you have access to refill these dispensers whenever you want, but this is the bit where you've got the option to place a hopper in the back of each of those dispensers, a chest on top of each of those hoppers, and then refill them there as well. And they're going to last for ages. And before long, you are going to have loads of lovely goodies coming into here. What's really strange though is you do sometimes fill up the large chest at the top at the same time as the large one at the bottom. Nothing in the middle though, so you've got loads of room. So there you have it, 3 bee farms that are going to cater for whatever your honey needs are. Let me know which one works for you in the comments, and whilst you're down there, why don't you hit that like button if you've enjoyed the video, and the subscribe button as well if you haven't done already. And I'll look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.